Would be Ryan the Great, and today we are recapping UFC Fight Night in Saudi Arabia. Nurmagomedov Imavov defeated Israel Adesanya via knockout in the second round in that fight, and then another fight that we will be breaking down is Shara Bullet. Magomedov took a loss to Michael Venom Page via unanimous decision, and we will be breaking down those two fights in this one. The other fights, I don't think that anybody really, I wouldn't say wants to talk about, but these are the kind of the main fights I think everybody is really interested in. So I'm gonna break these fights down, and lots of content coming out on this channel. We obviously predicted the Royal Rumble. We got this video today, breaking down this stuff, and then we're gonna have a video out tomorrow with Royal Rumble reaction. So we'll have predictions to UFC 312. We'll have reactions to that as well. So lots of content coming out on this channel, and we're just going to get right into this one. But before we get right into this one, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother, Living Great Vlogs. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my second channel at Round the Cog Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at Round the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow... Oh, what did I say? Make sure you guys go subscribe to my main channel at Ryan the Great RTG. I think I said COD Great when I was talking about my second channel. Make sure you guys go subscribe to my main channel at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on my X at Ryan the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Ryan the Great RTG. And make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the Shara 7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Ryan the Great Podcast. I'm after you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into the video and let's roll that intro. Hey, come on, Stotty. Stop! 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 Red flag! First pitch! Bring him in! Yeah! Oh, damn. All right, let's go to the video. So starting off, we're going to talk about Michael Venom Page versus Shara Bullet Magomedov. I mean, Shara Bullet, I predicted him to win coming into this fight. Obviously, MVP. Not on the decline, but just nothing really else going on for him. But having said all that, it's been such a bad, past year so far for, great prospects. It feels like that so many great prospects that we have seen on the rise are just losing to just not random fighters, but, experienced guys. And obviously... Michael Venom Page is not really that random, but he obviously has a lot of experience. But in this fight with Shara Bullet, I mean, MVP just did an incredible job keeping the tempo in his favor. Shara Bullet, I think he was just really scared. I wouldn't say scared, but it didn't look like he wanted to, strike with that Michael Venom Page. I don't know why he didn't go for a little bit more takedowns in that case. But, he just would not go after him. He just pretty much stood there the whole fight. And even his defense was not that great. MVP did a great job of just, at these sort of sporadic moments of the fight, just moving inside, and landing combinations on Shara Bullet. So you got to give MVP credit for that. But, there was really no head movement from Magomedov. He didn't do a great job avoiding strikes. He just was kind of stationary the whole fight. He landed a couple calf kicks throughout the fight, but there really was no sort of sense of urgency from Shara Bullet, and he didn't do a great job of, getting inside and trying to close the distance and landing combinations, which is what we've seen from him. His timing and precision is really great, and that's how he's been able to win fights, but he just, for some reason, was off his game on this fight, and he just did not look like we've seen like the old Shara Bullet. I did not expect MVP to win this fight at all. I picked Shara Bullet, and I was really confident in my pick. Thank God I'm not a betting man, though, because I would have lost a bunch of money if I was betting. But no, sense of urgency from Shara Bullet. In the third round, which I personally think he did win, he had a little bit of urgency there. He was closing the distance a little bit more, landing combinations. But he really didn't get a chance to finish MVP because MVP was escaping out from, away from the cage, which is where Shara Bullet had him, I believe, on one occasion. So, not a great showing from Shara Bullet Magomedov. And for Michael Venom Page, I don't really know what's next. I mean, I guess he'll go into the top 15. right now. I'm not necessarily sure what's going to happen to him, but he'll probably still try to fight up in the division. I would think. I doubt he does get a first fight up in the division based off he has come off a couple losses. But it was a great win for him, and Shara just really played his game the entire time. And I wouldn't say MVP's lucky for it, but he definitely really helped himself in this one. And then anyway, getting into Adesanya versus Imavov. Imavov with a second round knockout. Now, I gave the first round to Adesanya. I don't really know what anybody else thinks, but I gave the first round to Izzy. I was watching Demetrius Johnson's video on this fight, and he gave the first round to Adesanya as well, and I was thinking the exact same thing as him. Adesanya looked great in the first round. His hands were active. He was throwing great jabs, landing calf kicks, landing body kicks, all the good stuff, and his ability to not let Imavov throw shots at him. Anytime Imavov really would throw shots to the head of Adesanya, he would just get out of the way. He'd move his head back. Against DDP, when DDP would just run at him, he was just kind of like, getting out of the way. And obviously he got finished, but I had Adesanya winning that fight until he got submitted. In this one, Adesanya looked good. There really is it's not like Adesanya is washed, and I don't think anybody's calling Adesanya like a washed fighter. But he looked decent in this fight. I mean, he was, as I just mentioned, he was landing calf kicks, he was landing body kicks, he was landing some jabs. He won the first round. Now, obviously, some people could argue because Imavov did land that uppercut that looked pretty dangerous, and got a little bit of reaction out of everybody. But Adesanya, he avoided the takedown. Imavov really couldn't get his hands locked. It looked like behind Adesanya, and couldn't really take him down. So, but a good job by Izzy, holding himself up against the cage. And Imavov pretty much gave up, which was probably the right decision. No need to continue that takedown attempt when there was no reason to. But yeah, and then in the second round, Adesanya was, there really wasn't anything here. I'm about to break down the finish here. Some people saying it was a bad stoppage from Mark Goddard, the official. We're going to break this down right here, this stoppage. Maybe we'll start breaking down fights, like 25-minute fights. I don't know. But we'll have to see here. Let's break this down right now. So 4:39 remaining in the second round. And Adesanya, and if you're looking at like the official knockdown to start, it just looks like Adesanya kind of just drops like his. It looks like he was going to try and go in because he's holding his arms out. And it looks like he was going to go in, and if I could can I slow this down on ESPN? I don't know. And yeah, he's kind of it looks like he's about to go in, to strike. He's kind of holding his hands out, and he probably would have pulled something. But then Imavov does a great job of just, realizing that his hands are not in a defensive position, and just does a great job of knocking him down. Now, I don't think that was the point where Adesanya was completely finished. I think it was that left hand when he was on his knees here, and boom. That left hand, that was the part where I thought Adesanya was finished. I thought he was dead in that current moment because that was such an incredible shot. Adesanya could have protected himself. But he just couldn't get enough time to, defend himself there and avoid that left hand. And you got to give credit to Imavov. He did a great job of, pouncing on Adesanya when Adesanya wasn't ready to defend himself. And let's watch this stoppage here. All right, he's on his back. Now, listen, is it a little premature? It possibly could be. Because I think Adesanya, you could see him kind of wiggling his back a little bit, and he still is obviously alive. Obviously, officials are not going to officially end the fight when he's completely knocked out. But I don't know. It's complicated because you see Adesanya, he's squirming. But I think what Mark Goddard sees in this is that Adesanya kind of had his arms out, and he's trying to squirm away. And I think he's thinking, okay, Imavov is going to land more strikes, which is going to do more unnecessary damage. I'm just thinking in the mind of Mark Goddard here. which is what probably would have happened. It looked like Adesanya was not going to defend himself in this position. I'm watching it back for like the fifth time now. Yeah, that left hand killed him. I mean, it looked like Imavov would have been able to land more strikes, which I think would have ended the fight. Was it a little premature? Yeah. But at the end of the day, the way Adesanya was defending himself, it didn't look like he was going to have the opportunity to sort of, get his arms around his head, to defend the side of his face. So yeah, I don't think that he would have had the opportunity to do that, and I think Imavov would have continued to land more strikes there, which is what, in my opinion, Mark Goddard was thinking, and that is why he ended the fight. Once again, was it a little premature? Yes, but at the end of the day, Adesanya was probably not going to be able to defend himself, and that is why he called the fight. So, then people are going to argue, well, you're saying if. I mean, there's a huge chance, there's definitely more than a 50% chance, 60% chance that Adesanya was not going to be able to defend himself based off his position, though he might have been able to squirm out. It didn't really look like he had the great positioning, though. So I don't know. It is what it is. Is it a little premature? Yeah, but what are you going to do? When it comes to what's next for these guys, if I'm Adesanya, I mean, I think anybody's not going to care who he gets or who he's going to fight next. Everybody's going to watch regardless. I mean, I would say maybe you could go fight Robert Whittaker, but I guess they're friends now, which, I mean, okay. Obviously, he's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. He's had 3 straight losses, obviously to Pereira. What do you call it? He's had a few, not to Pereira. Well, he did beat Pereira, but he did lose to Pereira, but, he has had 3 straight losses to Sean Strickland, DDP, and Imavov. In these last 2 fights with Adesanya, I feel like it's just these random times where he just gets caught. Like, in the fight against DDP, he was winning the fight, in my opinion, throughout, went from where he got finished. And I thought he was winning the fight. He just got taken down, and he just got caught. The same thing in this fight. He planned it out bad when he was, trying to land a strike. And then Imavov had great timing and countered it. So, you got to give credit to Imavov. So if you're Adesanya, I don't really know who you fight next. I guess maybe you can, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Who is there next? You're obviously not going to get the title shot, but you're not because of what I'm saying, he's just gotten caught, it doesn't mean he has to, fight outside the top 5 or top 10. Well, he probably doesn't have to fight outside the top 5, but I don't mean he has to, fight outside the top 10, for God's sakes. I don't know. We'll have to see in the next coming weeks, months, of who Adesanya can face. When it comes to Imavov, some people are saying Robert Whittaker. I wouldn't say so. It's possible, but I feel like with Robert Whittaker, he's coming off such a bad loss to Khamzat Chimaev, where he got absolutely dominated, to the point where I don't think it would be Imavov would be taken so seriously, saying he could win that fight and then get an immediate title shot after. So I think I think Khamzat's next for the title. He has dominated everybody and beaten everybody in his way. I think he'd beat Imavov at the current moment in time. So yeah, I would give Khamzat the winner of Strickland and DDP, which I think is the obvious route they're going, and then I would give the loser of that fight to Imavov, and then whoever wins that fight, whether it's Strickland or DDP against Imavov, they can maybe get the next title shot. Or if another contender emerges, then we'll have to see. But that's where I'm at right now with it. Imavov is given I give him a lot of credit. I don't think he deserves the title shot next. In my opinion, I think it's Khamzat. It's not that he's not deserving at all. I just think Khamzat should be next. So yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Around the Great Vlogs. Make sure you subscribe to my main channel, Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on X at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Around the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast, and make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Around the Great Podcast. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.